Welcome to the show, everybody. We're your hosts, Brittany Antuna.
And Ryan Hollis.
I was gonna see if you were to catch that.
Did you think I was gonna say my own name?
I thought you'd be very confused.
Now all of our listeners are confused. They don't know whose voice is which.
I think they know.
I hope so.
I think they can figure
What
it
if
out.
they tune it in for the first time and they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
If you're a first-time listener, I'm the black one. There you go.
I mean, I think they can probably tell that from us. I don't really look like a Ryan either.
Do I? I don't know. I think
More
I do.
than I
probably.
do.
Yeah.
You don't look like a Brittany.
I could. I think
You could
everyone
pass.
kind of looks like a Brittany.
Yeah, it's a very common, unfortunately, common name.
Everyone looks like a Brittany. Everyone looks like an Ashley.
Yeah. What about Michelle? I feel like a lot of
Michelle's
people look like Michelle.
A lot of people look Michelle. Yeah, no, definitely. A lot of people look like Sarah too. I'd say. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of Jessicas.
Just the worst names because I have the best one. I have the best name. I got a new job. Did I tell you that? I got a new job.
You mentioned it. How's it going?
This is what I'll say. I celebrated the new job by taking myself out to a very, very expensive dinner, which I promptly threw up when I got home because I drank too much.
Oh, I thought those days were over.
It definitely wasn't on purpose. Here was the problem. My reservations were very late at night, and I was like you know when you try to like eat and drink when you're tired, like you're groggy, like you're still sleepy.
Yeah,
that's what happened. It was just a bad combination. But that place is kind of hard to get reservations.
So because you were tired, you drank too much?
I was still on like sleep belly, like imagine like I was asleep. I woke up from my nap, went straight to the place. I was still on sleep belly.
Sleep belly. Heard it here first, folks. Sleep belly.
You don't know, you don't have sleep, you don't know sleep
I know what you mean. I've never heard
belly.
anyone say sleep belly.
If you're a first time listener, everybody, this is your go-to place for new vocabulary.
Yeah. You got to get the vernacular right.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's the only thing that I give the world. But it was fantastic. I had some great food. I've talked on the show before about how Philly has amazing restaurants. So yeah, it was fantastic. That's all I'm going to say about the new job.
Okay, got it.
They're already asking me to do things that are like not in my job description. And the millennial in me is just like, no more. No more.
I've been through enough.
Don't cross my boundaries.
I'm too oppressed.
When I was a child, like I remember, I think I've talked about it before, the question of what do you want to be when you grow up? And me just giving sort of like any generic like answer. When I was a kid, I wasn't, labor again was not something that I dreamt of. I enjoyed my cartoons, and I'm pretty sure I wanted to be like a rock star when I was a kid. So,
I really thought, I think when I was younger, like all of those things were more attainable. Like if you really wanted to do it, like when I grew up, everything was just like work hard, be a good person, and you'll get to do whatever you want. And that is so not the fucking case. It's usually the opposite. Like don't work at all and be a dick, and you can do whatever you want.
I think, that again, that's definitely like a sort of cultural difference, I think.
Why? What were you taught?
Well, when you're raised Black and poor, that whole myth of working hard and getting ahead is very much a myth because you see people around you working hard every day and not getting ahead. I think I was more so, taught like education, just follow the path of education and always like have, diversify your portfolio essentially. I think that was more so the message I got. And I enjoyed school right up until I didn't anymore.
Yeah, that was a hard cutoff. We're both vet school dropouts. So it's like we're like we're committed to 4 more years of this shit, and then we start it, and we're like, nah. I gotta get out.
Why would I ever do that? The other day I was walking about my house as one does, and do you remember the show? Well, it was a movie. There was a movie called Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, hell yeah, fuck yeah! Oh my god.
It had who's the guy from Ghostbusters? What's his name? He's also
Bill Murray. Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray.
I was thinking of Lawrence Fishburne. Fucking Chris Rock he's not in Ghostbusters, but that's the actor I was trying to think of.
Is Lawrence Fishburne in Ghostbusters?
Thrax.
Oh, okay. I saw Ghostbusters when I was 6 and never saw it again. So
you couldn't have, because it apparently came out in 2001.
Ghostbusters?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Osmosis Jones.
Oh, no. Anyway.
No, Ghostbusters came out before we were alive.
So after Osmosis Jones, the movie came out, they had a show on the WB Kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The WB Kids?
Fuck yeah.
Called Ozzy and Drix. And it had the catchiest theme song, like intro song. I'm not going to sing it because it was a rap and much to my
you're
chagrin,
black. You can't rap?
I can't rap, can't twerk either. You heard it here first, folks. I'm being very vulnerable today. If I ever had a black card, I think it was revoked a long time ago. Much to my chagrin.
When you went to Green Mountain College?
Probably. When I showed up to middle school with, a jacket full of Blink-182 and AFI pins. Yeah. Maybe that's when it started. Maybe they started like reviewing my card. Like, let's put her on the list. Let's put her on probation.
You're temporarily black. One more slip up.
One more. You got one more shot, buddy.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember I used to watch all of those. I had like Nick at Night a lot because I still can't sleep. I couldn't sleep when I was a kid, so I was always watching like old TV shows.
Who was it? The Genie, I Dream of Jeannie, and
Gilligan's Island.
I Dream of that was another one of my sexual awakenings list. Yeah, definitely was all up in that Genie outfit. That ponytail, man, come on, that blonde ponytail.
Show me and
those eyes,
ponytail, and that's it.
She had beautiful eyes. That's all I'm saying. She had a very pretty face.
I mean, if she was ugly, she wouldn't have gotten the part. So
yeah, they didn't start casting like ugly women as romantic leads until like 3 years ago.
This is true. Come on, Ralph. We got a Ralph special appearance. Yeah. Wow.
I was into all that.
I'm just thinking about all of those shows. Like there were so many. There was like Sister and
yeah.
What did you watch TV like after school?
I watched I grew up in the 90s. I watched TV all the time.
Yeah, well that's true. TV kind of raised us.
Yeah, I watched TV before school. I watched it after school. I watched it on the weekends. I had a routine on the weekends. So I would wake up early and I'll watch all my PBS.
Diddy.
Yeah. I hope I never do. Yeah. I watch all the PBS kids shows. It would start off with like, Arthur, and it would like end with Zoom. And then around 4:00 I would catch Pokemon. And then then I would head back to PBS to watch all the cooking shows. That was my Saturday routine.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't really watch a lot of Saturday morning cartoons because then my mom was home, so she was just like bossing me around to do yard work and like help her cook and clean and all of that shit. But definitely after school, Boy Meets World, Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven.
Those were always on.
That was Seventh Heaven was the jam. Do you remember? Oh, what was the name of that show? It had an actor with Down syndrome, and the character's name was Corky. Do you remember that show? It was called
No. Life Goes On?
Life Goes On. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I remember this, but I don't really remember watching this.
Yeah.
Look at that dog. Yeah, see, I remember the dog. Of course. Where's Corky today?
Oh, that's a good question. Where's Corky?
He's 48 and living in New York City.
Oh, good for him.
You go, Corky.
One of my sort of evening favorites. So I would watch, my mom would also watch a lot of TV. So on Saturdays, at a certain time, there would often be, or if like I was home from school for whatever reason, there would be a fight over her wanting to watch her stories, soap operas, and me wanting to watch different entertainment. But at night, we would watch all the sort of primetime shows, Mr. Cooper and Smart Guy and
Smart Guy.
The Nanny and
oh my god,
Moesha and all.
Oh my god,
all those were man. Those the 90s and the early aughts, TV was so much better. We had and then we had the. When we got a little older, we started getting into the Buffys and the Smallvilles and they don't make TV like that no more.
They sure don't. It's so fucking boring. You know what? I saw something the other day on social that was like, you will feel old when you realize that like most of the shit that you love about your childhood is canceled. Like you could never do it today. And it's so true.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's very true.
What did you use to like, what kind of snacks did you have when you were watching all this TV? Because that's kind of all I did was like snack.
The snack on things.
Like there were like 90s snacks that I really wish would come back.
Oh, I don't know.
Fucking Dunkaroos. Oh my god!
I couldn't eat. I didn't like Dunkaroos. I didn't like that little
Pop-Tarts.
No, so I was into like candy. So Jolly Ranchers, whatchamacallits, what's it called? Malt balls.
Ooh. You got some cavities.
I didn't though. I didn't get cavities until I was an adult. It was wild. I was very sad when I found out I had cavities. Although I will say, I'm still not entirely sure that I actually had cavities because that dentist was definitely a scam. I believe all dentists are a scam, but mine in particular was definitely a scam.
I think,
everyone's getting the same diagnosis.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. This is the beginning of the OxyContin epidemic.
Yeah, dentistry.
For sure. Everyone gets the same diagnosis. Everyone gets the same fucking treatment. Everyone is high.
Really a scam? The fucking chiropractors. They're a fucking scam.
I love the chiropractor, but I can see why you feel that way.
You're not gonna be all up on my body, cracking my bones, and you ain't even take no X-ray. Like you're not touching my bones, bro. Like
chiropractor's a scam. 100%.
Yeah.
But I love it. Crack me up.
But yeah, no. Anyway, when I was a kid, though, I was definitely into the sour candy. Do you remember Crybabies?
Yeah. I didn't like any of that stuff, though. I remember like Ring Pop and Baby Bottle Pop when you used to put the sour shit on the outside and then suck it off. Like, oh my god, what the fuck?
I was into Push Pops. Definitely loved me a Push Pop.
What's your favorite flavor?
Blue.
Yeah, the blue raspberry one. There's the best one.
Like the best one. I can't even tell you what the actual flavors are. I can tell you.
It's not a real flavor. Like it doesn't exist in nature. It's just like the blue one is the best. Remember those like freeze pops that they were just like liquid and you would put them in the freezer?
Out of your fucking mouth.
Cut the fuck.
I would eat those. I would be the only kid. Like no. This is a
fucking
scam.
Nasty.
These fucking pops are.
Remember those ice cream cups that were like chocolate on one side and vanilla on the other side?
Yeah.
Fucking ice cream, man. Why don't we have an ice cream man anymore?
Oh,
I mean,
Philly
I guess you
still
could
has
just
an ice cream man. Mr.
Uber
Softy
Eats that. But
still runs around Philly streets. I love it. The way that I gauge someone's love for me is if they'll run out to catch Mr. Softy to get me ice cream.
what do you get at the
serious.
ice cream man?
Oh, my ice cream. Oh, my ice cream order. This probably tells you a lot about a person, right? How they order their ice cream. I'm straightforward. Cone, vanilla ice cream, chocolate sprinkles. That's it. How I like it.
I have now that we're on the subject
Or
of ice
sometimes
cream,
rainbow sprinkles. Just sprinkles. I'll take.
you need just
I'm feeling
sprinkles.
that day. Yeah.
You how do you feel about chocolate ice cream?
I hate chocolate ice cream. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't understand why people eat it.
Why?
Because it tastes like mud.
Oh my God. I remember when we used to have like, I don't know, was it every day or like every week? We had ice cream, like an ice cream sundae situation, and
Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Chartwell's.
Yeah.
And
you had to get there at like peak time, or else you would get the gross freezer burnt ice cream at the bottom, and all the toppings would be gone,
or everything would be melted, or just like destroyed. Like it looked like a tornado came through. All
you had
of the
to
toppings.
be right there. Like eat your ice cream first, then get your food. You gotta.
No, that's really how we did it. You had to.
You had to.
But that's when I learned that you didn't like chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, I hate it. I don't like chocolate. I hate mint chocolate chip.
I love mint chocolate chip.
I don't understand.
I like chocolate. I like chocolate chip cookie dough too. Those are my two favorites.
Oh yeah, no, that's fantastic. One time when I was a kid, I was like, this is still a very fond memory for me, clearly. Well, the people can't see this, but I'm smiling already.
They can hear it. You can hear the
they
smile.
Can hear the smile in my face. I was like, I want to say about 7. Once again, to remind everyone, I was an obese child. So I was 7, and I was left alone with a pint of Breyers cookies and cream ice cream.
I hate Breyers.
And that
tastes like paper. Like specifically the cookies and cream one tastes like paper to me.
As I was eating my ice cream straight out of the pint, or the pint, right? That's what you get in the freezer section. Whatever the size is that's meant for a family. And as I was eating, I found a whole intact Oreo in my ice cream.
That did used to happen. I remember that.
An entire cookie. Together, both sides, cream still in the middle. One of the best days of my life.
Yeah, that is a good deal. Wow.
I'm telling you. So I was eating the ice cream outside. It was summertime. I ran in. I showed my mom.
How did you? Okay, so this is important. What did you do once you had the whole cookie? Did you ate it whole cookie
without
the ice cream? Like just ate the whole cookie?
Yeah, no, I sucked the ice cream off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then ate the whole cookie. Because you gotta, it's a once in a lifetime thing sometimes, you know? I never knew if that was going to happen again.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't think it would. Every once in a while I don't eat ice cream that often. Well, I can't eat ice cream because lactose intolerance. That's something I fucking miss. Being able to eat whatever the fuck I want.
Well, I'll say this. I think that sometimes, and then I question, I'm like, wait, but was I really able to eat that back then? Or did I just not realize how much
No, I really I mean, my lactose intolerance isn't that bad. I still eat dairy.
I think mine got worse as I got older.
Yeah, I think I definitely had some issues when I was a kid, but it wasn't, it didn't bother me. I was like, whatever. So maybe I've just become more cynical as I've gotten older. So now I'm just like,
everything hurts more.
My tummy hurts. God damn it. And when I was a kid, I was like, my tummy hurts. I'm going to go play.
Yeah. Like you had a higher tolerance, or you were distracted by everything.
Speaking of, oh my God. Okay. Did you play outside? With the neighborhood kids? Yeah, like, and I had to come in like when the street light went on. That's when I knew I was in trouble. I had to be in the driveway by then. And there were some kids that didn't have to be home. Like, they never had a fucking curfew. They just like were allowed to do whatever. So we would like hang out in my driveway. Cause as long as my mom could see me, she was like, that's fine. If it's dark out, I just need to see you. So sometimes we would like play in the backyard or whatever. Do you remember that? Like, I think it was called Skip It. It was like that fucking bowling ball attached to like a piece of plastic.
Was so good at that. I loved that thing. I was so
I think I still have bruises on my shins from using that.
And what's crazy is that I'm like the least athletic person you'll ever meet in your life. Like, it's a struggle for me to not like tip over standing straight, like standing still. Like I will fall over. But I was so good at Skip It. I was also really, really good at Bop It. Do you remember? Oh, this is a funny story. You may not remember because we were super, super young. I was like 3 when this happened. Do you remember, or not happened, but do you remember Mr. Bucket?
Yes.
Mr. Bucket, for anyone who doesn't remember or is too young to remember, to have experienced Mr. Bucket, was a battery-powered bucket man who used to spit things at you out of the bucket. And I was fucking terrified of Mr. Bucket.
They literally would spit out like what they now try to sell as
like
cat
blocks
toys.
of plastic, like shit, like hard shit at you.
It was like round balls that have like slots in the sides of them.
It was so hard.
It was legitimately hard. That was a legitimately hard game.
So noisy. Oh my God.
There was one that was similar to that had ants. I think it was like ants in your pants, and it was like the bucket itself was like a pair of pants, and then the ants had like a tab on their butts, and then you had to like flick them into the bucket. Why were we occupied with it? Like, how bad was the fucking world that we're like, let's try and flick plastic ants into a plastic pair of pants and pretend like that's fun?
Do you remember the gross out head man, where it was just
the gross out head man?
Yeah, it was like a head, and it had like all types of shit in it. It was like Operation, but it was a head.
I remember Operation.
It had like boogies in it and like
earwax
and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did not. I did have a doll when I was younger that shit herself. And she I could make baby food.
Yeah.
And then she had like some kind of thing in her stomach, and then she would poop it out. I had to like potty train the fucking doll. I'm like 6 years old. I'm barely potty trained myself. Why do I have this toy? I peed the bed last night. Now I'm trying to make my doll shit on a toilet. Like, what is this?
When I was young, like 4 or 5, 6. Do you remember those like science kits?
I had a lot. My whole life has been science, so you got to be more specific.
It was like it was this kit, and then it was this lab, and you would create like creepy crawly things. You would just make shit.
Oh my God! Like they were like you would heat them up in the oven, right? Like they were.
No, that was a different one. It was called. I don't want to sing the theme song because it's in my head right now, but it was like creepy crawlers. There's something and something.
Yeah.
And
no,
something in green.
Yeah.
I used to love that.
Oh my God. Yeah, they had it was like the Easy Bake Oven version for boys.
Was there an oven?
Yeah, there was like a little box.
Okay.
And they came on a tray, and you would like pour out your molds. You would like make your solution. And
there was. Molds. Yeah, there was like a little thing. Yeah. I forgot about
Ralph, can you get off the mic, please?
That's mostly the type of shit that I was like. I had I didn't have an Easy Bake Oven. I had a Mrs. Fields oven, train sets, any of those back in the day. There was this big thing. Like, this is back before like handhelds, like Nintendo Switches, and like even Game Boys were like relatively still like kind of new. And there was this whole market of mostly boys' toys of these like electronic little handheld games that you could only play with like specific cartridges. You could only like play with another person if another person had it. Do you remember those things?
Yes, I do. It
was called Scanners. It was called Scanners, and I had one. And you would scan barcodes, and a barcode would give you a little monster, and you could fight the little monster against someone else who also had a Scanners.
Yeah, I didn't
throw the monster. It was
I
like
didn't have one of those.
if
But
there wasn't another person, it was basically just a Tamagotchi. Honestly, like it's just like
do you remember that robot dog? Poochie.
dog. What's his name,
Poochie. Yeah,
There-
apparently.
maybe. Yeah.
I don't remember that, but it's from Japan. Of course it was.
It's the robot dog.
Yeah, there was some good stuff back then. I had one of those Barbie doll. Did you have Barbies?
I had all the Barbies. I
I had all the Barbies too.
the doll houses and the cars and the clothes.
Oh my god.
and
My
sister
Barbie had a fucking
clothes for
convertible.
Barbies.
Did you pull the heads off of your Barbies?
No, I made them have sex.
Oh, mine all had sex, and I was very confused because I was like, I don't understand. Like, there's just a lump here. And Barbie had like Barbie brand underwear on all the time. So I'm like, how are the adults, like, how are things working? Like, I knew where it was. And like Barbie was only so flexible in certain ways. So I was like, they just like scissor each other all the time. Like that's what my Barbies were doing, just scissoring each other.
Yeah, essentially. The boys and the girls. I liked Barbie so much that like I would even get like the special, like if there was like a special edition Barbie, I would get that. Like, do you remember the movie Hercules? Disney's Hercules.
Of course.
And the female lead, whose name I forget.
Esmeralda? No.
Esmeralda. That was Hunchback, wasn't it? No.
Yeah.
Oh, you might be wait.
Megaria. I don't think so.
Is that her name?
I don't think so.
But she had they made a Barbie for her, and I got that Barbie. That's another character for everyone making a list. Put that on the list of Ryan's sexual awakenings. Is the chick from Hercules?
What was that fucking girl's name?
Magdala something.
That broke my brain so much that I forgot what I was going to ask you about. What about your favorite like Disney movie? Did you watch all of those?
Yeah, no, I was Disney was a big part
Disney
of
was
my
like
childhood.
Marvel when we were kids.
Yeah. That's a good question because like my favorite Disney movie didn't come until like I was older, like later, and that was Mulan. Like Mulan's my favorite Disney movie. I can't remember what it was.
That was a good one.
Before that, but I think it was probably Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
Interesting. I feel like that tells you a lot about like a person's psychology, like what your favorite Disney movie is. But it's probably just all about timing and like how spongy your brain was whenever you watched whichever Disney movie.
I think I liked most of them. I think the only ones I really wasn't ever that big on was probably like Rapunzel, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's very anticlimactic.
It was kind of boring. Yeah.
I was very into fairy tales when I was a kid.
What was that book?
Yeah, it was this huge book, right?
Yeah, that had like Hansel and Gretel in it.
Yeah, it was this huge book, like this huge hardback. It had like, you know, it was very gilded. I must have gotten it at like a school fair or something. I was very young. But my favorite
Grimm's Fairy Tales. That's what it was.
Okay. But my favorite fairy tale was Princess and the Pea.
Yeah.
I
still think about that actually. I'm like how as I get older, the more I understand how one pea can fuck up your life.
The thing that got me about that story is that like everyone was just treating this poor woman like she was difficult. It's like it's not her fault that the bed is she wasn't even complaining. Like she was just trying to get by. And they're like,
she's like, I just want a fucking good night's sleep.
Hoity-toity. It's like you just took this poor girl from her family. You couldn't even give her a decent bed.
Fucking nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Princess and the Frog was definitely a fan of Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, that was like later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good one. I don't feel like they're as good. Like they are just as well received.
Yeah, it's a smaller
now,
one. Yeah.
But they don't seem like
I think
Lion King
Yeah, they're also usually shorter. Those stories.
That's true. Yeah, well, now everyone's got the ADHD, so
Yeah, so maybe they'll work better now.
they're like, we got to shorten this more and more and more because everyone's losing their attention span.
When I was a kid, my favorite. I used to love board games when I was a kid.
Yes, I still do. I still want to play games all the time.
No one ever wants to play games with me. And I'm like, you're ruining the magic. Like, but my favorite board games were Candyland.
Yes.
And Clue.
Yeah. I liked Candyland and Trouble. Do you remember Trouble?
I remember Trouble.
Whenever that fucking annoying ass pop in the middle.
I used to love the pop. I used to just
pop it, just like pop. Fucking smash the shit out of it.
Press that shit. Whenever my cousins would come over, I would make us all play Candyland. They loved it too, but
that game is kind of like, it's like the child's version of Monopoly. It could go on for a long time.
Forever. I mean, it's designed to go on forever. Whoever makes Candyland, Hasbro, Mattel, whoever you are, make an adult version. Not like explicit, just like a version that's a little more involved for adults.
I think we should also make an explicit version
of Candyland. It can be set in a strip club called Candyland.
Yeah.
Oh, let's design this right now.
Oh yeah. The mind's turning. The wheels are going. Oh my gosh.
Good shit. But also Clue. Loved Clue. Oh
yeah. Clue was a good one. My mom always wanted to play Trivia Pursuit. My mom's smart, which is annoying because she's like, I want to play. Trump had his own board game, so she wanted to play that. She wanted to play Monopoly. She wanted to play Trivia Pursuit. And I think that's the only reason why I'm good at trivia now. Because like I had to play that when I was little. I was like, I don't know any of this shit. She would win every single time. I'm like, this ain't fair. Like, of course you know this. You've been alive for longer than I have.
My family. So when I was you have sort of like a smaller family, much smaller family than I did. When I was a kid, though, all of my extended family, we were like very close. So we were like always around each other, especially around holidays. And our thing that we would play would be charades. Like, yeah. The family would fucking throw down over some charades. Yeah.
I'm still anxious to play charades, like, because adults still want to play charades, which I don't hang out with those adults once I know that they want to play charades. But there's much better games you can play as an adult. But it was just my mom and me most of the time. So I never had a big enough family to play charades. And like my grandparents, like my grandfather probably would have played, but my grandmother would have been like, no, I'm watching TV. So like I'm still anxious about playing charades because I'm like, I don't feel like I have enough practice. Like it's not
a high intensity game. It
really is.
It's a difficult game.
Anything under time, I feel like has just created
too much pressure.
Testing. Yeah, it's testing anxiety all over again. I'm like, can I have extra time?
No,
I can't think straight.
You can't. So I am like, Brittany knows this about me, but I am, I'm a very like easygoing person. I don't, tend to like to exert a lot of energy until a competition is involved. Then I get
so
uncharacteristically competitive. I
am not easygoing, but because I'm just a ball of anxiety. But in general, I'm pretty relaxed in like social situations because I'm just like go with the flow because I'm not controlling everything. Yeah. But I am the same way. Like it's like a Jekyll and Hyde situation. Like I like Hulk takes over and I am a green monster and I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this up. Like
I had a job a few years ago and we used to do team buildings. We used to go out for team buildings, but these were actually pretty good ones because we all like to drink anyway. So we went out to the arcade and they put us all on teams and they paired us all up and I got paired up with my director. who I had a very strange relationship with because she was just an odd person. And so there, and everyone at work knew me as like, the person that, don't ask Ryan to do anything that isn't her job. Like, don't ask her to like engage.
Yeah, you're not going above and beyond.
Yeah. So we're getting put on these teams, and I lean down to my director because I'm 6 foot and she's like 5'2". And I say to her, I'm like, so listen, you got put on the right team because I'm competitive as fuck. And she goes, oh. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, all right, we're ready. And I start booking it. I don't run. I start booking it. We're winning. We're gonna win this shit.
Oh my God. Did you win?
We would have if we hadn't run out of time.
See? Testing anxiety.
Yeah.
Did you have field day in school where you had like a day at the end of the year where you just like...
Yeah, I usually hated it though.
I didn't go. A lot of times. And it got to the point where people like knew when we would have field day, and they would like suspend us if we wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
Like if you don't, I'm like, what kind of fucking blackmail is that?
Yeah. See, I was never into schoolyard games. Like those are I'm not into that.
I can only do things that like by myself. So I could do like the hopscotch. Is that the one where you're on the squares, like the numbers?
Yeah.
So that, and like the hula hoop. Every time someone would do like the duck, duck, goose game, they would hit me every single time. And I was just all of the time. And I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it. Freeze tag.
Oh, you know what game I hated? Whenever we would play this game, all of a sudden I had a stomach ache. Something was wrong with me.
Oh, God.
I refused to play this shit. Steal the bacon.
So every schoolyard seems to have a different version of this, and sometimes a different name.
Okay, what did they call it where you were?
Some of us called it steal the bacon, and what was the other name? It was some other food. I don't know why we had different names.
Whatever, but
everybody plays it differently. How did you guys play it?
What is it? Even number of kids on two sides, bacon in the middle. Fucking PE teacher calls a number. Your number gets called. You run out. You got to steal the bacon before the other person and get back to behind your line before they can catch you.
So we used to get in trouble for that too, because people would be like, I'm not going to win. I'm not even going to fucking try. And so they just like slowly walk out and then walk back like, I'm out. I guess I'm not going to play. Yeah, that was me too. I was like, fuck you.
Let them get it and then turn around and walk away. Yeah. And my whole team would be mad. This is why I don't like schoolyards games, because there's my whole team. My whole team would get mad.
Let me pick my fucking team.
And I'd be like, it's a fucking game. This is stupid.
Like literally, like so upset.
Why can't we just
try and fight me in the locker room afterwards? Like that would be how upset they were.
Like people would be crying because we lost. Like you're an idiot.
It's fucking Jim.
Buffoon. This is why I'm passing English and you aren't, because your priorities are fucked up. Well,
like
this is elementary school, so language arts, not English. They call it language arts.
Yeah, language arts. Why was it called language arts? We did no arts in there. It was not that creative.
That's a good question. I mean, the art of the study of language from an artistic lens, the art of language. That's Ralph. Jesus Christ. Hey, buddy.
He is all up in it today.
Ralph is the best cat.
You're the best boy. Are you the best boy? You would be the best boy if you could just sit still. He's like, there's not enough fucking lap for me here, lady. We gotta go to the couch. Yeah, gym was the fucking worst. Did you have a favorite subject in school?
No. I would probably gauge my favorite subject by what subject was easiest for me to get through.
That's fair.
And that would be anything to do with the soft sciences, English, social studies, history, art, music, anything that wasn't math or gym.
Yeah.
or like in most of the sciences except for like physics. I was pretty good at physics. Don't know why.
Do they still have gym? Like, is that still a thing?
When I was in school, when I was in high school, so this would have been a very long time ago, over a decade ago. At least in my state, the law was you had to give the students either gym or health.
Yeah,
but
we would have like gym or like we would have like gym one semester or however our school year was broken up. I don't remember. And then like health would be another section.
Yeah.
So like for winter.
That was my freshman year. That's how it was my freshman year. But then I never actually, in high school, I never had either gym or a health class. So I don't know if that changed.
How did you get out of that?
No, it wasn't offered. Like, it just wasn't on the curriculum. So that's what I mean. Like, I don't know if
that's wild.
The law changed or what it is. So I don't think that kids have PE anymore. I hope
not, because that is just so dumb.
Trauma inducing. I was always glad that I didn't have to share showers, you know.
Remember those nasty fucking pennies they used to put on us?
Pennies?
Those like those mesh tank tops that like we were going to a fucking gay rave.
No.
They smelled so bad. It was only like because we had to wear we had to be on different teams and you had to know who was on your team.
Those things. Yeah,
so you'd be like yellow or red or blue or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe people called them something different.
I didn't know they had a name.
Yeah. Every time those came out, I was like, God damn it. I hate working on a team.
It's like putting on a fucking worn safety jacket. It's just gross and sweaty.
It stinks. And they just sit in that bin. So gross.
Did you play any instruments when you were in school?
Here's a fucking story. So we all got our instruments, I think, in 3rd grade. And that also happened to be the time when everyone got chickenpox. So first, this is traumatizing for several reasons. I wanted to play the drums, and my mom told me no because boys play the drums. And I was like, that's fucking bullshit. So I was just stubborn and not wanting to pick anything else. And we all had to play an instrument. Much different
if you had played drums.
So different. So different. I don't even know if it would be better or worse, but it would be very different. And only one person could play them anyway. So obviously it was going to be a boy because all the boys are like, yeah, I want to beat on shit, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what they were doing. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll play the flute. There were so many, everyone played the flute. So I had to pick something else by the time I fucking got unstubborn enough to pick something. So I picked the clarinet. So we get our instruments when I'm out with the chickenpox. And I go back to school. I had them forever. I swear to God, I was out of school for 3 weeks, or it felt like that. And I went back to school, which disease is so weird. I'm covered in itchy bumps. What is this? Anyway, and everybody gets it. What is going on?
I never got chickenpox.
Uh-oh.
I had my vaccine, my little chicken.
Well, I had my vaccine too, but I guess, because the one unvaccinated kid, and now everybody's got a little bit of it, but mine was worse because I had a horrible immune system.
Ralph wants a lot of attention today.
He really wants to be. You cannot sit up there. We get our instruments. I go to band, Mr. Carter.
It's always a Mr. Carter.
You gotta chill, bro. So we get our instruments. Fuck Mr. Carter. And is that a popular band name?
I feel like the
band teacher name?
The band teacher or the coach is always a Mr. Carter. Or a Williams.
Okay. I see that. So we're I go to band. I get ignored. So I'm like, yeah, I haven't been here in 3 weeks, so I literally know nothing. I don't know how to put my clarinet together. I don't know what a reed is. I don't know notes. I don't know anything. And he's like, just play along. And I'm like, the fuck? I don't know what I'm holding, bro. So, so I literally am faking it. So I'm uncomfortably shy when I was a kid. So I'm literally faking it and like putting my fingers on the keys as if I'm playing something.
Yeah.
I'm not making any sound. I know that, but like everyone's playing. So I just think that maybe no one will notice. Maybe I'll get to go to the concert at the end of the fucking year and I'll be playing the clarinet and not really have any idea what I'm doing the entire time. I knew that wasn't going to work, but he told me to do it. So at the end of class, and this is a very like 90s school kid story too, he singles me out and he's like, okay, I'm going to like catch you up to speed for the past 3 weeks right now, like in the next 2 minutes. And so he's like trying to get me to make sound on the clarinet. And I didn't know like where to hold my tongue. Like I didn't know anything. And he's like telling me to blow into it until I'm blowing and blowing and blowing. Clip this. And I finally make some sound. I pass out. I fall backwards off of the stage and get a concussion.
Oh my God.
So I got dismissed from being in band.
A 90s kid story.
Fell backwards off of the stage.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Horrible.
Oh God. I was going to tell my own classroom trauma story, but I can't follow.
You have to. No, come on, don't leave me hanging.
Mine is just sad. There's no funny ending at the end. There's like a happy.
Mine's sad.
I guess, yeah. Yours is sad. But Jesus Christ.
You can laugh at me. It's fine.
I'm just, it's out of the scene of a movie. Like, oh my God. Like,
it really is.
Perfect. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Oh, that can't be beat.
Oh, it was bad. I still want to hear your story though.
Mine is just sad. So back, I was in kindergarten. So I was 4 or 5 years old. I was 5 years old, and my teacher was out for the day. And so when a teacher was out and they didn't have a substitute, they would like split the class up and put you in other people's classes. So 5 kids would go there, 5 kids would go there. And usually, this worked out fine enough. The teacher would just put us in the back of the class, give us some coloring books, and, that would be the day. So this particular day, also, my elementary school went from kindergarten to 5th grade. So we had everyone from like 4-year-olds to 11-year-olds, right? And so we were afraid we used to call them the big kids. Like if the big kids would come out in the yard on recess, we would run away. Like we were terrified of these big kids because they seemed huge to us. Mm-hmm. So my class gets split up. We get put in a 5th grade English class, I believe. And the teacher, I don't remember her name, some white lady with the brown hair, some skinny white lady. And so we had been given like these worksheets, and she had sat us in the back of the class, and I had forgotten to bring pencils from my desk. And so, like I had been taught, I raised my hand, and she made eye contact with me. And so I say, "Can I have a pencil?" And she screams at me, "Don't disturb my class. If you don't have a pencil, put your head down." And I slammed my head. How are you
supposed to know that? Oh no.
I'm 5 years old. Like, like on top of my hands, but like she fucking destroyed me. Oh my God, I want to cry so fucking bad. Like she just I'm a literal fucking baby. And she's
No, that's really how they were. I had a geography teacher that would smack her kids across the face or spank them. And she had tenure, so they couldn't get rid of her. I had another teacher who I used to I wouldn't space out, but I would look away from whatever, remember when we had all those fucking projectors? Mm-hmm. So everyone's looking ahead, and I would lose focus if I just continued to stare at whatever 9-paragraph math problem you're giving me. So I would look away, and I remember looking up in the corner, and she called me out. Her name was Mrs. Koch. So, I mean, joke's on her. But Um, she would call me out and like scream at me in class and be like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" I don't think she swore, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, so,
they were like brutal.
Yeah. So anyway, so my head is down. I'm holding back tears. It felt like the whole world was silent. I don't know. And I feel like a tap on my arm, and there's a big kid, this boy, handing me a pencil. And it was like the nicest thing anyone had ever done for me, like in my life. Like it just felt like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, life saving.
We were so afraid of the big kids, especially the big boys, because boys are mean. But he was handing me a pencil. It was very, very nice of him. So you can't falling up backwards off a fucking stage.
Yeah. I mean, I think even if I fell, it still would be a bad story, but falling backwards off of the stage and getting a concussion and like having to go to the nurse's office and then coming back. So like any of the kids that weren't in band with me still knew because they were like, "Oh, well, where were you? Why do you have ice on your head?" And I was like, "I fell off a stage."
I fell off a stage.
So I never learned how to play an instrument.
Oh, that sucks.
Traumatized.
When I was in school, the instruments, so everyone had to play the recorder and the bells.
Oh, well, we did have the recorder. But this was pre like real instruments.
So I used to miss a lot of school in elementary school. So I missed the whole recorder thing. So I never learned how to play the recorder. But I did learn how to play the bells. And actually the wind instruments, which were like real instruments, like the flute and the clarinet and the oboe, those are only given to like kids that actually like were serious about like wanting to learn how to play music. So I got chosen to play the flute. I never learned how to play the flute. The flute is complicated as hell to play. Like it's not an easy instrument to play. But I had music theory from elementary school throughout middle school. So I could like read music and write music for a while until I completely forgot it. I can't do any of that shit anymore.
Isn't it amazing how our brains just like forget shit?
Did not retain that whatsoever at all.
I haven't retained much.
It didn't help that like, because I didn't have any music in high school. So it just, there was nothing to reinforce it.
You don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, basically. It sucks, but I mean, playing the flute isn't, I didn't keep up with it because the lessons weren't often enough, and it wasn't like, I wasn't going to like practice on my own without knowing what I was doing. Like,
if you don't have a garage band, you're not going to just like do your own thing.
But I did want to be a rock star though. Me and my friend, she was my best friend. We were 15 and we were convinced that we were going to become rock stars. And so we went into a Sam Goody, and
oh my God.
John Mayer was playing. I didn't know what like instrument to get. So John Mayer was playing. I was not a fan of John Mayer, but I'm like, this must be a sign. Let me get an acoustic guitar because I couldn't change the electric. Never learned how to play that guitar. It sits in the corner of my house. It'll always be.
You still have it.
I still have it.
It's a really nice like conversation piece.
Yes.
That's about all it is.
And then I offered, "Do you want to play it?" And they're like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "It's not that. Like somebody should play it, probably at some point."
Wow, those were the days.
Were they?
For better or for worse?
Okay, that quantifier helps it out.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, there's so much we could have talked about tonight. I didn't even get into breakfast cereal.
I know. I thought about breakfast cereal too. We're going to have to do a second nostalgia because there's just like, there's just too much.
You may have to. We hope you enjoyed the stories of our youth, childhoods.
Childhoods.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.